YouTube, what's going on? It's Sandz. Got a first part of a series that I'm going to be producing over the next couple of weeks here for you guys. And basically what's discussing is hardcore game mode. Now, if you guys have been subscribers for a while, you know that a lot of the gameplay that I post is from hardcore game lobbies. So I figured I would try and socialize a couple of ideas with you guys, get some information out there, and hopefully help you guys improve your gameplay. Now, this first particular portion of the video, or I guess I should say this first video in the series, is a little more basic. I mean, we're going to be talking more about the ground rules associated with hardcore, as well as a couple of ideas and maybe some simple strategies regarding hardcore gameplay. Now, as the series develops, of course, we'll be getting a little bit more advanced and maybe coming up with some additional strategies or techniques that you guys can incorporate. But for today, we're going to be talking about just the basics. So let's get started. So the first thing that you guys are probably going to notice when you hop into a hardcore lobby is that you're not going to have your heads-up display, which of course shows you how much ammo you have and what type of equipment you're using. But you're also not going to have your radar up in the top left-hand corner unless somebody calls one in. So those are going to be the major things that you're really going to notice. So I guess the analogy there would kind of be like if you're a core player that's coming over here, it's kind of like you're EMP'd constantly without the annoying fuzzy sound. Now, it does make things a little bit more challenging or a little bit more difficult in the way of how you're going to manage your ammunition. All right. Now, the second part of what you're really going to notice is that friendly fire is enabled. So that means you can't just start spraying through your teammates and hoping that things are going to magically, your bullets aren't magically going to kill them. So obviously, team killing is a big no-no. So I can't stress that enough. Friendly fire is on. So what does that mean? It means that there's a 3-strike rule in effect. If you kill your teammates 3 times within a game, you're going to be kicked. So that's just pretty much how it is. Some people complain about it. I think it's a pretty good rule. When you play Search and Destroy and you have someone that kills the entire team, like in Call of Duty 4 when that was happening, it was extremely frustrating and annoying. So now, along with friendly fire, one thing to remember is that your friendly fire actually includes score streaks. So I've discovered from my own personal experiences that like calling in a warthog on hardcore literally kills my teammates more often than it kills enemies. And that's no like bullshit. Like, we're not blowing smoke up your ass. Like, that's for real. I don't know for whatever reason. I think it's probably just because obviously my teammate kills an enemy and then the warthog sighted in and then just blows them up. But I definitely recommend not running the warthog while you're playing hardcore because other things can happen. Now, in this little clip right here, you can see that there's a guy planting his sentry gun, and then he stands directly in front of it. So again, that's just that friendly fire rule. Don't derp it up. You know what I mean? All right, you guys. So again, let's get back here to this gameplay. And again, just want to stress that that even if you do get kills with your score streaks and it kills people, it's not going to boot you, at least not with a warthog. But if you do kill people with guns, it is going to boot you, kind of like this wonderful guy right there that just got kicked. So, 3-strike rule is in effect unless it is with score streaks, and then it seems to be pretty much unlimited. I'm not sure if anyone out there can correct me on that, but I've had warthogs kill 8 or 9 teammates, and nothing happened to me. So. All right, so let's get into this topic of gameplay. I know that a lot of people tend to say that, oh yeah, in hardcore is a whole bunch of campers, or else you have to camp, or you have to do this or this. I think that we've seen just in this video gameplay alone that that you don't have to camp. I mean, I am an aggressive player, and part of the reason why was because I started out as a core game player. So, I was sitting here and I was playing, Call of Duty 4 and a little bit of World at War wasn't my favorite. Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and the original Black Ops. But for me, hardcore was kind of new until this iteration or until this release. So it's a little bit difficult for me to break old habits, So I'm still the kind of guy that wants to run and gun. And for me, with hardcore, it's a little bit interesting because it relies more on reaction speed and accuracy. So again, if you guys are having issues with it, you may want to double check. Make sure that your auto aim is turned on. And it isn't off. I know that for some people it's been defaulted off. Not sure what that's all about, but make sure that you go into your settings and that you check the auto aim assist is indeed on. And again, part of it is connection speed, but a lot of it happens to be more just reaction. Now, while you're playing hardcore, as I'm sure most of you know and realize, getting killed or killing people is a lot easier. So, it only takes one or two, rounds, which can be, a good and bad thing. And then I started getting lit up by my teammates here in this round. But yeah, no. So it's one of those things where even though you have increased damage, you got to remember that enemies do as well. So it's just kind of one of those things that makes things a little bit easier, at least for me. Like when I get rolling, make sure that you don't reload immediately after you kill somebody. Like in core, it seems to me like I would empty 10 to 15 bullets into somebody, and then of course I'd have to reload. In hardcore, you can shoot 5 rounds or so, kill somebody, and then you can keep on moving without having to reload. So that's one of the key strategies I think that you guys can take away from at least this video, if nothing else, is don't reload after every single kill. You know what I mean? Like, give yourself some time, realize that your magazine probably has 25 or 30 rounds in it, and go from there. So let's get into kind of I guess the most important part of this video, at least, and this is all that we're going to do for the basic, for the first initial basic video. So I want to talk about perks and attachments. Okay, so pretty much without fail, I'm running Ghost, Cold-Blooded, Dead Silence, and then a suppressed weapon, no matter what. Now, my whole goal when I play hardcore is to be as invisible as possible. So that means that I want nobody to see me. I don't want to be heard. I don't want any of that, okay? So let's highlight Ghost real quick. I know that there's some folks out there that say, I don't need to rock Ghost because there's no radar up. Now, that's kind of true, but the thing that you have to remember is, even though there's no radar up, when a radar does go up, everyone's looking at you because you're lit up like a fucking Christmas tree. So right here we got a radar that just went up, and look at all those red dots appear. Now, the majority of the team wasn't rocking Ghost, but of course, I'm going to be going after people where I see a red dot. It's just kind of one of those logical things. So, that's one reason why I really prefer Ghost. Cold-Blooded, I don't like target finders, and they tend to kind of screw you up a little bit. So that's a big reason why I rock Cold-Blooded. And then Dead Silence. Look, if you're not rocking Dead Silence, it is crazy. Sound is another one of those huge factors in hardcore that I cannot stress enough. Okay, when you're rocking or when you're not rocking Dead Silence and you got your loud ass boots and you're tromping around, if you're playing with a gaming headset, if you're playing with like Tritons or if you're playing with Turtle Beaches, even if you're not, you can hear people from a mile away. You can hear people upstairs or downstairs. You can hear people running into walls or scraping against cars. Sound is another one of those huge things. So for me, Dead Silence is extremely important. Alright, you guys, we've covered the basics, and we're going to go ahead and close it off with this. Stay tuned for the next version where we're going to get more into the strategy and how to progress as a hardcore player.